Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes, and today we're going to be doing the single color Cardinal Red, and this tutorial will be going into the playlist of Dharma's dye swatches. Start by smoothing out all the wrinkles in your shirt, and then decide where you want the center of your spiral to be, and give it a little pinch. And then I'm using the microwave splatter guard on this one, and a hemostat. So you want to click your hemostat down on the first click because it does not need to be overly tight, and then give the hemostat 2 or 3 twists, and with your opposite hand create pleats and make your spiral. When you've gone as far as you can go with the splatter guard, unclick your hemostat and hold down the center of your spiral and gently wiggle it out. And then I'm going to be securing this one by using my favorite rubber bands, and I have a link for them down below in the description box along with everything else that I use for tie-dye, so go ahead and check that out. Once I have a few rubber bands on the shirt, I like to make a nice tight spiral. So what I do is I pull on the loose tails and tuck them into the nearest rubber band. And I'll go around and around doing this until when I pull on those loose tails, they don't move anymore. And if you watch, pretty soon a nice tight spiral will emerge. This is going to be an ice dye, so what you need to do is build yourself some type of an ice barrier. And for this one, I'm using the silicone cake molds. And if the silicone cake molds are a little bit too big for the project, well, I just secure it with a paper clip. Now it's time for the fun part. We get to add the dye. And ultimately, this is going to be an Incline ice dye. And I made this shirt, I don't know guys, maybe almost 3 months ago. So I'm trying to remember why I just turned it around, and I don't exactly remember, but knowing myself, what I think my thought process is that instead of going over top of the white part with the dye, I brought it closer to me. Because otherwise I don't know why I twisted it around. Because quite honestly, from my vantage point, I have a hard time seeing over the lip of the ice barrier. It's a lot easier for me to see where it's up at the top. But yeah, so anyways, you just want to add your dye. And again, this is going to be the single color, and I'm doing a single line spiral. So when you do this, you just want to make sure you put your dye through the center of the spiral. Next, I give the project a quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure, and I'm only adding it to where the dye is. The shirt was already pre-soaked in soda ash, so there's no sense in wasting your sprinkle. And now I'm adding my ice. And I'm using my procion ice, so this is coming from my large ice maker. And if you notice, I put the ice down on the white part first. And my thought process on that is, if the ice is going to roll around, it's going to roll into the dye instead of adding it to where the dye is and possibly having it roll into my white. I hope that makes sense. And then this is going to be an incline ice dye, so I'm going to put 2 little clothespins to help hold the project right where it's at. And then I'm just going to set the bottom of the rack down into the bin, and I'm going to let it batch for 24 to 48 hours after the ice melts. So it's been 48 hours, and now it's time for the rinse out. And boy, oh boy, do we get some nice splits on that one. So you want to start by using cold water, and that's going to rinse away any soda ash that might still be reacting within the fabric, and then increase your water up to hot and rinse until the water runs pretty much clear. And it's really important, especially if you're trying to protect white, that you get all of that soda ash out before you start taking off your rubber bands in the cold water. And then once you feel like you've got it really well rinsed, that's when you increase your water up to hot. And by increasing the water up to hot, you're going to help rinse out any of the unbonded dye. It's going to go down into your sink instead of into your washing machine, creating a mucky, muddy mess. So from here, I take it to the washing machine and I do however many hot water cycles it takes using Curalon. And Curalon is a professional textile detergent that I get from Dharma. In the second hot water, I scoop it up and I look at it. And if the water looks pretty much clear, I know that I'm ready for my final hot water cycle using Millsoft. And Millsoft is a professional fabric softener that I also get from Dharma. And there are links for them down below in the description box. And then I will put it in the dryer and I'll iron it, and we'll come back and we'll see the results. Well, here it is, guys. Here's our single color Incline ice dyed spiral in the color Cardinal Red after it's been washed and dried. And I love this shirt. The spiral looks amazing. So taking that extra time to create a nice tight spiral, it's really worth it. You know, especially if you're using the microwave splatter guard, because it doesn't create an overly tight spiral. So to have something turn out as good like this, you really do need to take your time. So the color itself is beautiful. It's like a nice deep burgundy red, and then it sort of breaks down into, you know, a lighter shade of red, and then almost like it's like a lavender pink color. It's really pretty. And then the splits down into even like this orange and some peachy colors, and in some areas some black, maybe some dark blue. It's really, really pretty. I'm quite pleased with this color. As I'm watching this, you know what it's reminding me of? Remember that shirt that I made that had the rust on it? It reminds me a lot of that. And then right here is the liquid swatch against the ice dye, so you can see what they're both capable of doing. So what do you guys think of Cardinal Red? Please leave me some comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie-dyeing.